Joe Biden's spokeswoman held a press conference today, and she had to scold a Fox News reporter for spreading hurricane disinformation. So we'll take a look at that clip here in a second, but first, I want to talk about how House Speaker Mike Johnson has been sabotaging the Biden campaign, and more importantly, the people who are impacted by these hurricanes. So let's take a look at this article. So this is from HuffPost. Mike Johnson: there's no rush for Congress to approve hurricane relief. House Speaker Mike Johnson said that he won't call Congress back into session early to fast-track emergency funding for hurricane victims, arguing that there's no rush since it takes a while to calculate the actual damages. We'll be back in session immediately after the election, he said in an interview with Fox News on Sunday. That's 30 days from now. The thing about these hurricanes and disasters of this magnitude is it takes a while to calculate the actual damages, and the states are going to need some time to do that. President Joe Biden has asked lawmakers to hasten the approval of about $1.6 billion in federal funding towards the Small Business Administration's disaster loan program, which Biden said will run out of funding in weeks. His request follows Hurricane Helene causing widespread destruction in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia. A second major storm, Milton, was forecast Monday to hit Florida's Gulf Coast as a Category 4 storm this week. I've warned the Congress of this potential shortfall even before Hurricane Helene landed on America's shores, Biden said in a statement on Friday. I requested more funding for SBA multiple times over the past several months, and most recently my administration underscored that request as you prepared a continuing resolution to fund the government. Johnson, who in his interview called the federal government's handling of Helene a massive failure, insisted that there was ample time before the storm hit to bolster federal funds. Now, I don't know about you, but if the President of the United States is saying, hey, we need more money, please bring Congress to a vote, then you should probably bring Congress to a vote. Now, Johnson's excuse here is that, oh, they had plenty of time to request more money if they thought that they needed it before the storm. Well, guess what? Biden's been calling for more money for several months. And now that it's proven that they do need more money, especially with Milton on the way, why are you not calling it? Clearly, Mike Johnson is just doing this to sabotage Biden at the expense of the American people. And I am sick and tired of these Republicans playing games with our lives. But now that we've taken a look at that, let's check out Biden's spokeswoman scolding a Fox News reporter for spreading hurricane disinformation. Just take a look at this clip.
President Biden is fond of saying, show me your budget and I will tell you what you value. If he's got money for people in Lebanon right now, without Congress having to come back, what does it say about his values? There's not enough money right now for people in North Carolina who need it. That's not misinformation.
Wait, no, that is your whole premise of the question is misinformation, sir. What you do? Yes, it's misinformation.
Is there money to send Lebanon right now?
I just mentioned to you that we provided more than $200 million to folks who are impacted in the area, and I just shared with you that people are deciding not to. People are deciding not to.
Letter to Congress that there's not enough money to help people in North
Carolina. We're talking about the SBA disaster loan.
That's money for people in North Carolina,
and that's important. And people in North Carolina need that. Wait, this is nothing new. Peter, this is nothing new. Congress comes together, they provide money, millions of dollars, for disaster relief. We're asking them to do the job that they have been doing for some time.
From a letter that President Biden sent to Johnson, McConnell, Schumer, and Jeffries. The President's letter is not misinformation. Would you agree?
No, the way you're asking me the question is misinformation. There is money that we are allocating to the impacted areas, and there's money there to help people who truly need it. There are survivors who need the funding, and it's there.
That you don't like misinformation.
I actually said we have the money available to help survivors of Hurricane Helene and also Hurricane Milton. Now there's going to be a shortfall, right? Because we don't know how bad Hurricane Milton is going to be. And so we're going to need additional funding. That's
exactly what I just asked about. And you said it was misinformation. Yes.
What you're asking me is why Congress needs to come back and do their job. That's what you're asking me. Congress needs to come back and do their job and provide extra assistance, extra funding to disaster relief fund. That's what Congress needs to do, and we're going to continue to urge that. You may not want that, but that's okay. That's what this president wants, and that's what the vice president wants. Thanks, everybody.
In my opinion, that Fox News reporter is a disgrace to journalism. You can tell that he clearly has no idea how funds are allocated, and he's just trying to make Biden out to be a villain. Joe Biden has been doing everything that he can to make sure that these states affected get the aid that they need. And this is exactly why he's trying to get Congress back in session to allow for more funding. So yeah, I think that Fox News reporter was totally spouting disinformation, and it's good that she was able to shut that down because we really don't need any more disinformation, especially as Hurricane Milton is on its way to Florida. Hopefully Mike Johnson will stop his partisan games and bring everyone to a vote to provide people with the aid that they need.